Yes, I'm very excited today because this is my favorite type of podcast. It's on my favorite subject, which used to be sex till I turned 36. And now, of course, it's cricket and only cricket. I have two wonderful ex cricketers and people who really know the game, understand the game. They're pundits now. And rightfully so, and we are getting no money from them, and they are getting no money from us. So this is a free and fair conversation you'll have at the airport. They have a lovely show called Khelneeti. I'll introduce them in a second, but first, I want to just set up one point which I was thinking about because I'm a little irritated. I become a little defensive about my cricketers when they get insulted. I don't know why. They're like my family. After some time, I get a little personal and emotional. We Indians are like that. We're emotional about everything. And so I got a little angry. And I'm not talking about the nutcases who attack Mohammed Shami's religion or Anushka Sharma and the child and all, but those are lunatics. So we don't even want to give them any space. They don't deserve it. But the normal guy who starts criticizing and then from sarcasm starts pointing out, ki, acha, theek hai, Virat Kohli doesn't deserve a place in the team, this, that, and the other, and gives their own expertise on it. So here's my point. Why don't we have in 2020? It's all about experimental cricket. Why don't we include 21 overs instead of 20 overs? We choose one armchair critic, the most aggressive guy, and he's chosen to perform for the country of origin. So, for example, we take one guy. Let's call him Sharma. Sharma comes in and he faces the fastest bowler from the opposite side, and it's all counted. We have one extra over. So, for example, against New Zealand, it would be Adam Mill bowling at close to 150, and Mr. Sharma, who has been talking about Virat Kohli को आगे आना चाहिए, inswing delivery को मिलता नहीं बराबर, he doesn't want to come forward and play. Then now he has to face Mill and prove himself. I feel this would be great entertainment because entertainment is 75% of T20. Enough of Cyrus Bocha. Let's get the guys in. Saba Karim, also ex-selector, head of selector, so he's seen it from all perspectives. Nikhil Chopra has been around from the beginning of time in terms of after his cricket career. I think you've non-stop being a pundit on all kinds of channels. Now you have the Khelneeti, the number one podcast in the world. Uh, कहने में क्या हर्ज है, right?
Yeah,
Fair enough.
yeah. Absolutely, man.
So yeah. This medium we have to self-promote till such a day as they give us 50 million subscribers, and then you don't have to worry. You can have your own T20 IPL,
Yeah,
which is
yeah.
the elephant in the room, ladies and gentlemen. There are no ladies, of course, that we have to start with. I had a big argument in the gym in the morning with a guy who said if we over the IPL ka timing. So he said if we had done well, everyone would have said the warm up was perfect. We had the competitive cricket, and then we went with that momentum and won the World Cup. If we did badly, they say कि overkill. एक exam के बाद दूसरे exam कैसे कर सकता है? It's impossible. Your priority is on the first exam, and you're tired and energy is gone for second exam. Boys, you tell me. I don't understand. What went wrong?
But Cyrus, first and foremost, if I may come in, like you said, no, some of these critics who are always criticizing कि पैर ऐसा आना चाहिए था, you need these
Correct.
guys to bat against some of the quicker bowlers like this against Horace Rauf and things like that. You know, when these guys, like you said, they get a chance to come and play in the 11, apart from the pads, the elbow guard, the abdominal guard, you need to get them numbers also against somebody who bowls at 100 kilometers an hour.
Yeah,
Tough
I'm
for
just
them.
Nikhil. Are you there? Maybe the Mr. Sharma has got a lot of influence and has quickly cut the Wi-Fi where Nikhil Chopra is sitting. Immediately, India fights back, as you can see. But while he's frozen for a second, he'll come back. He's back. Nikhil, are you there? Okay, it's like a portfolio now for us, Nikhil. If you can hear us, we are seeing small smile, then shot, then long shot, then close up. ठीक है. While you adjust that for a second, let's get Saba in.
But
Saba
Cyrus,
ji, what
first
do you
up, I
think?
mean, you are spending time in the gym. Matlab, you are in line to play for India now. Go on,
Oh,
bro.
you're the gym. You're like Ian Botham, the gym critic, is it? Bro, I'm in the gym because 20 साल शादी के बाद मैं क्या करूं? I don't drink. I don't socialize much. So what do you want me to
Okay.
do? I don't have any
Uh,
hobbies, yaar. So there's a
well,
terrible phrase ki leave the
you can
dumbbell at
become,
home and use the
listen,
dumbbells in
Cyrus,
the gym.
you can also become an armchair critic because everybody
I
is
am an
doing that
armchair
these
critic.
days.
Sabah, my only worry is that, see, in front of you, I would feel it would be wrong for me as a genuine cricket lover to start telling you ki in swing is his problem suddenly, that he's having a problem with the ball coming in and his
Yeah,
foot is
yeah,
half cocked, he's not really coming
yeah,
forward. But
yeah,
they all pick it up from what you guys say on your various shows and all. I don't deny that. But the fact is that they are saying it like they are better than our cricketers, which
I
sometimes I
know,
feel
I
like, come
know.
on, they've had two bad games. We've had a great
yeah,
season
yeah,
in terms
yeah,
of test red ball cricket. But yes, white
yeah,
ball cricket,
yeah,
definitely we have to be held accountable. I don't deny
yeah.
that, but that's
Mm.
why we're coming to you. And I think Nikhil's repaired the situation slightly. तो पहला पहले ये IPL की जो बात है, let's get that out of the way. Would that be a problem? It's a tough one. Sabah,
Oh,
Nikhil,
I
are
thought
you
you're
there?
I'm there. I thought you're chatting to
Huh.
So
Nikhil.
yeah, I'm here.
No,
I'm here. I'm here.
whoever, whoever, both of you guys, just
Ah.
tell us. Let's discuss this here for a minute. This whole IPL thing, because I'm hearing this everywhere from people. The for IPL and the against IPL as the precursor to playing a T20 World Cup of this magnitude. अगर country सबसे important चीज है, देशभक्त हो, तो you think that I'm just putting it out there कि that is the priority and club cricket is not in the same league.
Yeah, well, let me go. Let me go first, Cyrus.
Yeah,
सबसे पहले के IPL and international cricket, they are two different subjects altogether. And I feel we're in a position to dominate world cricket, especially in white ball cricket, is because of IPL. We've been able to unearth so many young cricketers. We see a great promising talent coming through IPL. So IPL is a boon for Indian cricket. Let's face it like that. Now, but there is a huge difference between IPL and international cricket. So IPL is like a precursor to international cricket. If you're doing well here, it will help you to prepare much better for international cricket. Now, for instance, ये T20 शुरू होने के पहले, World Cup T20 शुरू होने के पहले, everybody said, oh, this is great preparation because you played the IPL in UAE. We are aware of the conditions. We should have done much better, and everybody felt like that. Even the players who were part of the World Cup T20 squad, they also felt the same, and they had enough time to recuperate, enough time to rest, enough time to prepare. Unfortunately, it did not come through. So there is no reason for the critics or the so-called critics to get after IPL. IPL and World Cup T20 are different stage altogether. I think today it is IPL. Tomorrow we may have to go and play a test series after IPL. So if you lose there again, you will blame IPL. So it has so the failure इंडिया के मैचेस के हारने की वजह आईपीएल नहीं हो सकती है.
but
मुझे तो ये
you're
लग रहा
telling
था
me
कि
there is no
या
correlation. मगर ये जो let's call it a pariksha, and then you immediately in 5 days go for the second one. I don't know. Is it possible to go back to back with events of big size events like this? Does
but it happens Cyrus once in 2 years or once in 3 years. It is not a big deal, and it's not only in the Indian players who have participated. There are foreign players also who have participated in the IPL.
well, the West
So
Indies
how
have
come?
nearly not got off the
So
ground.
how
For
come? How
example,
come Morgan
Australia
is
are looking
playing?
terrible. Those are the countries that
Yeah,
give
but
the most
but
IPL
but look at
cricketers.
England. Morgan, the captain, he was there. He was under the cosh here while playing for KKR. Now he has come good as a captain, also as a batter. There are other players who played in the IPL. They've gone back and have performed quite well. For instance, even Pakistan was quite busy playing. And if they were not playing IPL, most of the national team, they were playing international cricket in trying to
Yeah.
prepare. So why would you blame IPL for this?
S- Let's get Nikhil back in if he's there. पता नहीं दिल्ली में क्या हो रहा है. It's very
Nikhil is absconding. Maybe he has taken a cue from you, Cyrus, gone to the gym.
yeah. Either that or he decided that he can come back here after Chakravarti's performance. He thinks that maybe he can bring some off spin
True.
back into the game. Fair enough, right? But
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you actually just shot me down now completely. I'm feeling quite bad. So you're saying कि IPL का कुछ connection नहीं है इसके साथ, and you should not look at the result from the point of view of what came before. But I'll just say one last thing then on this subject,
Yeah,
Sabha,
yeah,
which
yeah.
is कि if you look at the body language of the team, they didn't look like tigers for the two matches. And you're talking about the two main opponents of the group. I understand against maybe Namibia we were a little softer or whatever, but it just looked to me like 5 out of 6, except for Rishabh Pant caught in the deep, for example, 40 odd
Mm.
for 5. I know 2 3 teams
Yeah.
have had the same sort of scores, and England came back to 160 yesterday, but it just where we are used to, KL Rahul, Rohit Sharma dominating Virat. I mean, these are very dominant personalities, and then suddenly it looked like we were a
Yeah,
really
yeah.
a team below the other team.
Yeah, you're absolutely right, but that has nothing to do with fatigue, Cyrus. I mean, I would say that
Batting first.
the issue, no, the issue to be well, that is a different story. We lost the toss, so that is okay.
We
But
always
but
lose
we
the
didn't see
toss.
the
He's got
fight.
a horrible record.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But we didn't see the kind of fight we were expecting from India. Yeah. But having said that, I believe what is to be addressed now is that are we falling behind in the modern trends of T20 cricket? That is the big question here. कि क्या हम लोग पीछे तो नहीं आ रहे हैं मतलब are we trying to keep pace with whatever is happening in international cricket in T20? So that is very important. I think if you recall England, I think in 2015, Nikhil, correct me if I'm wrong, they realized that their white ball cricket is not going anywhere. They had lost the World Cup. They were knocked out in the first round. That's when the think tank sat together and decided, well, we need to change the brand of cricket we play in white ball cricket. And look at the changes which they have brought in. So I think are we going through that kind of a phase? And I think for the past 2 3 years in T20, except for maybe 2 or 3 games in between, we tend to play very conservative. And I think the days are gone by in T20 international cricket that you will be allowed to play conservative cricket and still think of winning a tournament. We need to bring in that change, and I think the quicker we do that, we'll be far better equipped to perform well at the international level. That's what I feel.
I think we've lost Nikhil again. He was about to bring him in.
Again.
Nikhil is he's like, I think he's now part of BCCI proper. He's dodging and ducking all the bouncers. Every time we come back to him, वो तो गया, गायब हो गया बीच में. It was a very interesting point, but I was also thinking aloud. First I thought of it as a joke, but I'm asking you, Sabah, really, and please don't
Yeah,
laugh at me.
yeah,
I felt that Black Lives Matter moment in the first game, it tossed his mind a little bit. Rohit Sharma, it tossed his mind a little bit in the whole thing. He disorganized हो गया. I don't know what the each individual has a different way of preparing. Sunny would prepare for hours before it.
yeah,
Others,
yeah,
a
yeah.
Botham or a Richards would just walk in. But I just felt he lost his rhythm, trying to figure out कि मुझे nail करना है, नहीं करना है, क्या करना है, एक साथ करना है. He's looking left, right, and center. Babar Azam had no idea, but being the fielding cabinet affect him so much. I felt the batting rhythm just went, and both of them were caught in something else, and their dhyan had gone from there, and their energy also had gone from there. It's a small thing, but we didn't seem to recover from that. It was like dodgy cricket after that. Nikhil,
Yeah, I mean,
welcome back. Say
maybe
anything
you're
you
right.
want,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, Nikhil. Please jump in.
Please. It's a
No,
three-man show.
see,
Yeah.
I know, but see, all these questions, I decide to disappear at the right time. You're asking too many difficult questions there.
Yeah, yeah.
But I have a bent elbow, huh?
No,
I
but
have to tell you.
no, but on a
Born with a
serious
bent
note,
elbow, then you're allowed to play.
yeah. But let me start with at least talking about some of these critics, who sit on their phones and with social media just look to keep on criticizing some of the players, how to play against some of the quicker bowlers, guys who are
Exactly.
bowling at 150 kilometers an hour.
Technical
So,
points. Huh.
yeah, like you said, get some of these guys to come and play against people who are bowling at 150 kilometers. And I feel that, apart from the pads, the abdominal guard, the helmet, they'll need a good set of diapers as well. That's how quick some of these guys bowl as well. So they'll get a taste of what happens to them.
Yeah, I think that's very
But
fair.
listen,
Bolo.
hmm. No, but I'm just
Bolo,
saying,
sir.
but it's when you're playing a sport, you have, it's like two sides to a coin, your wins and your losses. Even against New Zealand, they were able to execute their plans beautifully. Unfortunately, we just got stuck, and I felt that after that first game, Pakistan, we shouldn't have panicked. That whole thing of changing the batting order. Obviously, they thought of being it a positive move that you have Trent Bolt coming and bowling left arm pace. You don't want Rohit Sharma to be facing, or for that matter, get a left-hander in, left and right combination. This is Rohit we're talking about. Trent Bolt has been bowling to him in the nets for years because he also
Nets, yeah.
plays for the Mumbai Indians.
But
So,
there he'll be
we
bowling
didn't need to.
slower because his contract is signed by Rohit and gang, no? So that maybe वहाँ पे थोड़ा कम pace पे.
Correct. Yeah, if you don't want to be a part of Indian Paisa League, then you try and get the captain out.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, really, didn't think of that. But sorry, no. So just getting on the Asian Kishan thing just for 1 second, since you brought it up, the whole idea, the bahana or not bahana, the point that they try to make is that Surya Kumar had a back spasm. He could not play. Where do you fit Ishan Kishan in? You want him in the top order. You don't want him in the middle to late order. So having said that, then the left right comes into play. But what you're saying is, can you drop Rohit Sharma from the opening position? I mean, that just doesn't make any sense to me at all.
Somebody,
Yeah.
Go ahead,
No, carry on. I mean,
go ahead, sir.
I'm just trying to say that
Go.
people forget that Ishan Kishan, while playing for Mumbai Indians, he batted so well as a floater at number 4.
Yeah, that's
So
a
there is
big,
no
that's a
reason.
big displacement, sir. I don't know if we can put him
No,
at
no,
4.
no. I'm
Then,
saying that even for Mumbai Indians, and I'm in the season previous season, he batted number 4, number 5, and he did very well
correct.
for Mumbai Indians. So there is no reason that Ishan Kishan couldn't have played number 4. But why would you? I mean, I only want to discuss the confusion in the mind of the team management. If you recall, during IPL, Virat Kohli decided that he will open with Rohit Sharma. Now, post IPL, before the World Cup, it was decided that no, KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma will open the innings. First game, KL Rahul and Rohit Sharma opened the innings. One loss, we decided to make that change. We bring Rohit Sharma down to number 3. Ishan Kishan up the order as an opener to partner KL Rahul. Virat Kohli, who scored a 50 in the game against Pakistan at number 3, he demotes himself to number 4. There's so much of confusion, and there is no need for that. As Nikhil has rightly said, what is the need to panic? You lost one game, fine. if we had beaten New Zealand, we would have been in a far better position than the way we are now. We are right now. So there's
So
no
where
need for so many changes in the batting order, or even in the 11 for that matter.
you got Ravi Shastri, you got now the mentor on top of that, the one and only MS Dhoni. Do you think it's too many people is not a good idea also? Because we don't have one person's vision, or it starts becoming like, everybody's throwing their hat in the ring and giving too many ideas. Is it possible that that could actually, I mean, I know nobody wants to ever criticize these two. I love them to death. But do you think it's possible you have too many people running the ship?
Not really, to be honest, Cyrus. You look at it as a positive way. You've got another set of, brains who's looking to try and get the strategy in place. But bottom line, no matter what you do, in the blueprint, you need the guys to go out there and execute. And unfortunately, both the games you were not able to go out there and execute. So, it's unfortunate. And with East Sodi, right arm leg spinner for New Zealand, Mitchell Santana, the left arm spinner, I personally
They
felt
outbowled us.
you've
Yeah.
got, you got Surya Kumar Yadav who was playing at four. If he's out, let the left hand come and bat at four. It would have been much easier. Like Saba said, the skipper came and got a 50 odd in the previous game. To try and get one batsman in, you don't need to make so many changes. It just goes to show that, we're not ready. For 2 years, we've been looking to build a side for the World Cup. One game where one of the batsmen gets a back spasm, not playing, and we have to change the entire blueprint or the thought process, how we're going to approach the game as well. So you don't need to. And I'm saying that even if things didn't go well and you got Rohit and KL to come and open or Virat to bat at number 3, man, this is a sport. You try and strategize, you play, you win some, you lose some. That's part and parcel of the game. No matter you got the best side in the world on paper as well, it's at the end of the day, it's the execution, and on that day as well, how you go out there and compete. Bottom line, simple as that. You got to take
But
that with a
Nikhil,
pinch of salt.
see, to support the critics, only one thing is कि दोनों match में it was like in test match language would be innings defeat, right? Because you've lost by 10
Absolutely.
wickets. T20, and there was the second half of that game. Let's face it, I put the TV off at 44 no loss, and in the New Zealand game, did 6 to 7 overs to spare in a T20 against the greatest Indian lineup, batting lineup, at least white ball lineup of all time, possibly. So that's the thing. The magnitude of the defeat is also a little scary. And we did so well, I thought, this year. Otherwise, if you look at red ball cricket and everything else, back to Australian tour of last year, why? There's got to be something with the timing. Saba's not accepting it, and I can't argue with him. He's senior and board admin as well as great. Like, I have to power put over here and not get out of place. But I just wonder, it's almost like mentally we're not tuned for this tournament. That's what the feeling I get because of
I'll tell you something. Why we lost. If you try and really dissect of the loss, take a wild guess how many dot balls we played, Cyrus. You watched the game very closely. In a 20 over game, it's a 120 ball format. Take a guess of how many dot balls we played. Take a wild guess.
20, 20, 20, 25.
50, 54, bud. 54.
54.
Yeah,
correct. 44, 5 and
Cyrus,
10 overs.
between the 7th and the 16th over, we failed to
No
score
boundary.
a boundary.
Correct.
Yeah.
And to counter your point about IPL and World Cup T20, let me go take you back to 2017 Champions Trophy. The only once we have won
England.
the Champions Trophy,
Correct.
England, and that happened immediately after the IPL.
That's true.
So we went to England,
Immediately
we won
after,
the Champions Trophy,
and we had to travel,
after.
and we had to
And
travel.
we had to
Here
travel.
Yeah. So then, what is it? But everybody, this is true. The body language is not what it was perhaps a month back. They don't seem pumped. They don't seem, aggressive enough, maybe, or not aggressive enough, physical aggressive. You know what I mean? Intent, energy. What's up?
I think I'll go back, Nikhil. Whether you agree, I mean, we can be on a different
Please
kind of
fight.
Absolutely.
Please fight. The great Goswami has taught us how to do all this. You have to fight here, otherwise there's no point.
But I just feel that our planning was not up to the mark. I mean, I failed to see the kind of stability which was needed in the side. You had players who had. I mean, the impression one gets is they had no idea what kind of role they had to play. We had not even decided on our power play bowlers. I mean, look at all the other sides. So first game it was Bhuvi and Mohammad Shami, number 3 Bumrah. Why would you do that? Or second game again there is some other So we have not decided on our opening pair. We're not decided on our opening bowlers. So where are we standing? I mean, we don't know what kind of role players have to play, and this is all due to lack of planning. If you have planned well in advance, this is the kind of 11 we want to go in, and this is the kind of role each and every player has to play. I can understand you require some flexibility, depending on the situation. But overall, a player should understand his role in the side, and
What's
that's
your
when you come up with specific plans and look to execute them.
what is your take then on Hardik Pandya? He's copying a lot of criticism and all that for not bowling. Is it? Would you have picked him as a pure batsman, as the so-called finisher, and then suddenly you see that he's a little off color for sure.
Yeah,
Even in the
yeah,
IPL, I would say he was off color. Nothing close to what he
yeah.
was 2 seasons back.
See, Nikhil has.
निखिल का कोई नौकरी की अरेंजमेंट है मुंबई इंडियंस के साथ, so he's letting you.
इसीलिए
He's gone immediately off. Yeah.
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah. Well, when Hardik Pandya was picked, the selection committee said that he is fit to be in the side on the all-rounder. So I don't know what happened, post IPL and before the World Cup began. But it was more than clear that even during IPL he did not roll his arm over, which means that he was not fit to bowl. He may have been fit to bat, but not fit to bowl. And to be very honest, if Hardik Pandya is not fit to be an all-rounder, to play as an all-rounder in the team, I don't think there was a place for him in the 15.
When I was young, at least I remember Imran Khan batting at 5 for a little period when his back was giving trouble and playing as a pure batsman. Maybe Botham also. Kapil luckily was always fit. But by and large, most all-rounders cannot play on that so-called, they're so good they can play. We say that jargon is there, they can play on one strength. But generally, it's you're an all-rounder. That's your role, right?
Yeah.
So, and if he's going to bowl at a ginger pace and not be, what's the point of bowling when he's not fully fit? There's no point bowling like he's playing a building game and just rolling his arm over. So, in that sense, now we're looking at all this because we lost really badly, and we're wondering his exact role kya hai wahan pe. If he's really the finisher, that didn't really work out either. 22 of 22, I think, in the last. So there are one or two places that come up to mind, and you're wondering, was this the right choice for these conditions and at this time, considering Hardik's body at the moment, health, etc. And was Chakravarti, we all thought mystery spinner and all, didn't really deliver in the end. Did we expect too much from him?
So it's
Nikhil is
okay.
frozen because it's spin talk.
Nikhil is frozen again. Yeah. So he's put in his
what
hat
a beautiful
for Mumbai Indians.
Saba, what a beautiful expression. This is the expression we want from the cricket fan when the match is lost. Nothing more. इससे ज़्यादा नहीं चाहिए हमको.
No, so this is perfect. because you're asking Cyrus too many uncomfortable questions. You've asked him about Mumbai Indians. Now you go to Varun Chakravarti KKR, and he's put in his hat for both these places.
Correct.
For Mumbai Indians
yes.
and KKR.
But he's not got the call yet, so it's all open to discussion.
I know, Cyrus. Even I was quite surprised. I thought in the first 11, in the first game, I wanted to see R. Ashwin. In fact, I would have preferred to have Rahul Chahar in the mix of things. Because if you look at the other teams, all the wrist spinners, the leggies, they have done very well. If you have picked Rahul Chahar over Yajundar Chahal, then you feel that he's a better bowler than Chahal. So if you go by that kind of a perspective, then all the more reason that he should have been in the 11. So I fail to
different
understand the
oppositions,
logic
Saba,
behind.
but it's little slightly embarrassing, not to be racist, slightly embarrassing ki English bowlers like Liam Livingstone, who, let's face it, is a batsman who can bowl, he can bowl this, that, and the other, but he's not, Shane Warne. Moeen Ali, who only gets wickets against India traditionally, and now suddenly he's looking like a bowling all-rounder. And then Adil Rashid, who was horrible in the one or two games he got in IPL, and not the greatest season back home, and now suddenly looking at top of the heap. They've outspun Indian spinners. So
completely.
That's another. Can you explain that?
Yeah, that is one reason why we picked 5 spinners in the side. If you're taking 5 spinners in the squad, then I think at least you can go ahead with 3 spinners. Try out your experienced players. Who's your most experienced spinner in the side? That is R. Ashwin. You don't play him. Then you have a leggy Rahul Chahar, whom you have picked up ahead of Chahal. That he would have been a viable option for you. Still, you don't play him. I think the other issue that has come up is Jadeja, Cyrus. We are looking at Jadeja as a 5th bowler, but over the past so many matches, even for CSK, he has not been able to finish his quota of 4 overs. So then, in order to accommodate
inside
Jadeja
kahani kya hai, Saba? What is inside kahani?
No, Ravindra Jadeja is a must in the side, but maybe not as a 5th bowler, maybe as a 6th bowling option. Then you would have had 5 bowlers in your team. That's when Rahul Chahar or R. Ashwin could have played. So you have three spinners plus your three pace bowlers, so would have given you six bowling option. But
And
I don't know.
one
I
floating
don't know
to
what.
remove if they're bowling badly. I get, which England
Yeah,
has.
yeah.
The
England,
teams that are
most of
doing
the
better,
teams,
Pakistan,
most
yeah,
of the
they
teams,
all
they
seem to
have
have
a
that
six
extra
bowling
option.
option.
Huh,
Pakistan
huh.
have got seven bowling option. They have Shoaib
So,
Malik and they have Mohammad Hafiz.
Sawa, what you're saying, let me understand this properly, is that on paper we have not done our work properly, first and foremost,
Yes,
because man
yes,
to
I
man, we
feel.
don't seem to have the
Yeah,
right chess pieces on the board. And
yeah,
when things are going wrong, we don't have the next replacement chess piece on the board either. So it looks like
yeah.
this is very strange because we have amongst the best think tank. We've had a long time to prepare for the tournament, and I, the kind of money, then time and intensity and energy that's spent on Indian cricket, you think that okay, performance may go bad, but not the pre-production. The
Yes,
pre-production,
you're
how did we
absolutely
get
right.
wrong?
I agree with you, Cyrus, and I think we had enough time to do that. I think maybe we just get caught up with IPL, and then I mean it is the responsibility of the team management who's not involved in IPL. That is the coaching staff, including Ravi, including the other coaches, to start to think ahead and have that open communication with the selectors as to what we're looking at. These are the modern trends. These are the changing trends of T20 international cricket. I mean, the other thing I want to raise here is that are we living in a cocoon where we are stopped looking outside India and we feel whatever we're doing in IPL it is the best, and we're not matching our wits or matching our talent against the international demands of
So
T20
have we
cricket. I don't
become
know.
arrogant, is what you're saying?
Yeah, I
Huh?
don't know why. I mean, I always look at the big picture, Cyrus. We somehow tend to miss the big picture, and we feel जो हम कर रहे हैं ये बहुत अच्छा है, पर ऐसा नहीं होता है कई बार.
I think both of you will raise the fact that Pakistan, we felt bad for Pakistan, thinking, the country's in shambles, there are political issues, nobody wants to tour, New Zealand pulls out on the day of the Islamabad International. I mean, that's another shocker for them. No international cricket for 8 to 10 years, and yet, you're able to come and hit the big boys where it mattered against the run of play, if look at the World Cup record, etc.,
Mm,
and all that.
mm,
So,
mm.
obviously, everybody else's planning on paper was better than ours, which is a little scary, considering you think that Pakistan was anyway handicapped with all the issues they have. New Zealand, a country of about 5 million people, yeah, with very strong
Yeah,
COVID
yeah,
laws and all that,
yeah,
still punching well above their weight. Test champion winner,
same
or
thing.
should have won the World 2019 World Cup, was almost
Yeah,
stolen from
yeah,
them, and now
yeah.
it may go all the way here. The little
Mm.
country like that with rugby as their main sport. I mean, that's a little embarrassing. Here I'm outside my office. There are two boys playing cricket right now,
Yeah,
without mask, by the way.
yeah.
No, I told them mask or helmet compulsory nahi hai yahan pe. So I'm just
I mean, very difficult, Cyrus, inexplicable. The only thing you can say is that if you take the example of New Zealand, it is down to system, it is down to transparency, it is down to accountability, it is down to very professional way of looking at things. It is putting things on paper first and trying to execute those plans, whatever is in your control. And I think if you look at the New Zealand side, there are no stars at all. It is all for the team. There are no big stars. Even Kane Williamson is a very undervalued, player for that matter. And in the 15 member squad, even if a big guy goes out, like for instance Lockie Ferguson, he was such a important player for New Zealand, did so well for KKR. We have seen what he's capable of. He goes out. What does the New Zealand think tank do? They bring in another right
Mill.
arm pace bowler, Adam Mill, who can easily clock 150 because they knew very well that pace matters on such wickets. And so they have a ready replacement, and all that can happen only if you have adequate planning, if you put your mind to it. Here I don't think we lacked proper planning and preparation for this World Cup.
Meantime, Sabah, controversial man has returned.
Yeah,
People touched all
yeah,
the
yeah,
questions.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
people are asking. I think Azhar has made a comment. I didn't read the tweet properly. Did you guys see that? Why did Virat duck the press conference and you have to be accountable, etc., etc., etc. What are your takes on that? I always believe that Kohli has been pretty transparent all his life, and is one of his strong points. And Nikhil, you probably know him from Delhi, and Sabah, you know him as the chairman of selectors
Mm,
uh,
mm.
a few years back.
Yeah, Nikhil, go ahead.
Yeah,
Oh,
absolutely.
no, one the right way.
See, I my Wi-Fi goes off at the right time, man.
Yeah. You're okay with this one? Yeah.
Yeah,
Mm,
yeah, absolutely. Because I
Uh.
know him personally and I've known him for a while as well. Listen, he's been a great leader. There's no two ways about it. And of course, every single time, even in that game against Pakistan when we lost, he's called a spade a spade. Like, we got outplayed. Simple as that. Even against New Zealand, I personally, for one, would have thought that he would have come out and spoken to the media and said, things didn't go well. These are the reasons why. Answer some difficult questions and forget about it. But on the flip side of this, you could also see and feel from a point of view that he was hurting. This was his last, say, T20 World Cup or the ICC. As skipper, he wanted to get his hands on the silverware as well because he wants to win a trophy. The only thing that he's won from the ICC is that 2000, I think 7 or 8 under 19 World Cup that he's won.
Correct.
And
Yeah.
so he must have been really hurting. It's not that he was
Nikhil,
looking to dodge the media.
for us old
Hmm.
timers, he's made us #1 Test cricket. He's beaten Australia
Yeah,
and Australia. What that Brisbane Test? I cried at the end of it. I'm a 50-year-old man now. You don't cry. I
correct.
don't cry when my children get hurt. I mean, come on, give him
So
some
he
credit.
was,
And we beat England.
yeah.
Technically, we beat them. I mean, forget that last Test. Yeah,
Absolutely. So he was, he was probably hurting, and fair enough. At the end of the day, he's human being as well. I know it's very easy for everybody to come out and say that he had to come out and speak to the media. I mean, why? You got to give somebody space as well. Think about from where he's coming as well, because everybody wanted a piece of him, and try and find the reason for your loss and blame everything on the skipper as well, trying to tear him apart. It's unfortunate. Like I say, at the end of the day, Cyrus, it's a sport. We're always playing the sport. I know we are representing the country. The plans were there, or whatever the reason was, we could execute it as well. And so be it.
little bit of momentum issue. We made the two big guns in our group back to back, right at the top. If we had started with the, let's say, softer teams, maybe that would have helped a little bit, and then we would have got into our groove. Somebody would have got more form. None of the batters are really
Cyrus,
looking like
now,
they're in form.
now you're talking as if Auntie had mustaches, then she'd be called an uncle.
Sir, you're like a
I
better
mean,
looking version of
this.
Sidhu now. What is this?
Yeah, except the turban.
No,
Uh,
man. See, bottom line, we got bloody outplayed in all departments. Make no mistake about it. And even in the practice games, we were batting second. We chased down targets with great amount of innings. A lot of people don't realize that how did we play so well in the practice games and not on these main games?
188
Because
that
the
was. That
yeah, but the practice games, Cyrus, were on different pitches and different grounds. They were on practice grounds. The surface changed. And what surprised me was in terms of planning, if I really dissect the whole thing, was when we played in the IPL for so long, and this is very interesting, there was always difficult to keep hitting sixes. When you're, playing the dot balls, each time you wanted to get some sort of momentum, trying to hit sixes were difficult. Even if you look at the IPL, the trend because of the pace of the track, it was tough. If you pick out the all the World Cup games that have happened, 85 to 90% of the games, guess who's got man of the match? The bowlers. Out of the number of
but
games, the bowlers have got more man of the matches, because it just goes to show that it's not about hitting sixes every single time. Try and play less number of dot balls, look for the boundary, look for the gaps, try and get to that respectable total. And then maybe in the last 3 or 4 overs, look to up the ante when you have wickets in hand.
see, but, looking at the yesterday's game, of course, you might see this broadcast much later, but I'm talking about England, Sri Lanka. The way Josh Butler, I mean, in the end, it looked like it was perfectly planned. The two of them put that partnership on, but they were also 50 for nothing at 10 overs, around the same score as India was, around the same score Australia was against England. So it looks like the teams are learning better. That's why I'm thinking if we got the softer teams earlier, would we have benefited for it? Because Josh Butler showed us that in the last 3, 4 overs, they got what 100 runs in the last 5, 6 overs and turned the game around to a very respectable 160 plus.
Softer teams, then the bowling would have changed. No? You wouldn't have had that sort of bowling as well. And don't take Afghanistan as a soft team. Huh? I'll tell you, 12 overs of quality spin.
Did you
We'll have
did
to
you
get you all
see the
back
way they
first.
bat?
That's it. That will
Did
be
you
too
see
much
the?
now, really.
It's
Huh.
it's it's like the gun blazing kind of an attitude from
Yeah. They remind me of
Afghanistan.
Sri
Whatever
Lanka
be
of
the
96.
condition.
They just keep
Hmm.
Yeah.
going. Huh.
Yeah,
Huh.
you're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
the whole world.
that's the
Yeah.
point I'm trying to make, Cyrus. That I get this feeling that we have far too many anchors in the side, and you need more boundary hitters in the side. So the boundary hitter does not mean that you're looking to hit boundary each and every ball, but it is talking about intent and the positivity you bring to the table. So even if you're not getting a boundary, are you able to rotate the strike? I think that's the kind of players you need. If you have far too many anchors in your side, then you're always looking to consolidate. You're always looking to, to nudge a ball here, to nudge a ball there, instead of trying to create gaps and playing those big shots. And I think we missed that kind of an approach in these two matches that
So
India has played.
what they say about the constitutions of the world, nation ka constitution I'm talking about, because we are philosophers also, that it should be neither too flexible, neither too rigid. So is that what is the right thing for T20? Because sometimes you're saying ki those who experiment all the time, who keep changing the color of the plan, they are the ones who are successful. Or is it that you have to stay with the plan, give a little time to mature? Because it's a little confusing now, and both types seem to work and both types seem to fail.
Well, in T20, Cyrus, 85% of teams win who play risk cricket with a lot of risks, and you need to take that plunge. If you're not able to do so, then more often than not you'll be on the losing side. So you have to play
So then the fault is one, two, three. Our top
that
three
kind of
batsmen
cricket.
who should have dominated, and
Yeah,
on
well,
all
we
accounts are
lost
the best
wickets.
in the
Well,
world.
we lost wickets. So I mean, we didn't have the opportunity to really break the shackles. And again, another interesting stat: about 80 to 85% matches are won on power play, whether you're defending or whether you are batting first. And I think if you miss out on the power plays, then in any case you're struggling.
And I think the 3 wicket ki limit hai. You cross the third wicket, and then you're basically 10% chance to win from there. And we've seen that in this World Cup almost across the board. The 50 for
Yeah,
three, 40 for three, not coming back. I think except for England yesterday. And
yeah.
two quick words before we go to quick break, and I think Sabha wants to leave. One is that Hasaranga. Yeah, he's the new talent. Not new, but he's been around, but looking really good. Yeah. Uh, is it just the wickets that are making the spinners look more formidable, or is it also that we are probably a generation that actually plays spin not as well as your generation? I'm just beginning to think that.
Sabha bhai?
No, Nikhil, you go. You're the
अच्छा
नहीं
spinner.
इसमें
I,
कंट्रोवर्सी नहीं है
I,
ये.
नहीं इसमें कोई controversy नहीं, but I thought you are leaving, that's why. No, but listen, quality is quality. Make no mistake
अच्छा
about it. And
मैच्योरिटी
of
की
course,
बात है भाई, मैच्योरिटी की बात है. I get it.
correct. Sabha is the senior, but quality is quality with Hasaranga. The kind of lines, the length that he's bowling, but also the difference is that they're playing in Sharjah. It makes a big difference, and Sri Lanka's played 4 games in
With shorter
Sharjah.
boundaries,
Yeah, but then
leggy
also the
shorter boundaries.
wicket is also helping. So it makes a world of a difference. There's more grip from the surface. There's more purchase from the surface, and he's somebody that if you don't pick him out of the hand, then it gets damn tough. Off the wicket, to try and pick a spinner of that quality, even for that matter, Rashid Khan, if you're not picking him out of the hand, Mujib for that matter from Sharjah, it gets damn tough.
But
And the
then,
good thing
Nikhil,
is,
why don't we just play four spinners like you would on a seaming track and headingly play four seamers? Why would you not play four spinners with one seamer option?
because we also playing on different surfaces, and when you have the right sort of mix with Jasprit Bumrah, who's been so good with the white ball, looking to pick up wickets as well. The difference is, Cyrus, when we pick a bowling side, you're looking to pick a bowling side when you're batting, bats first, and you get to about 170, 180. Then the batsmen are getting after you to try and get the runs, and then you pick up wickets when the batsmen make all the mistakes. But when we batted both the times batting first, how many bowlers did we actually have who could break the defenses of the batsmen and get the wickets? It makes a world of difference. We said Shardul Thakur. I mean, no disrespect to anybody, but he's also a bowler who really doesn't have that sort of skill set who'll come and get you wickets straight away. He's a bowler who'll get you wickets with the pace variations and the length variations when the batsmen are coming after you. So this T20 game, it's also very tricky how you make your bowling combination as well. So I guess there, like Sabab, I was hearing, Rahul Chair would have also been a good option without a doubt, because a right arm leg spinner, it just brings a right sort of mix when you're looking to pick up wickets as well. But for all that to work in place, you at least need to get 160 on board.
Yeah, but having said that, I do believe, Cyrus, that first game we recovered very well. I mean,
Yeah.
in the power play,
150 odd.
30 odd for three,
Yeah,
to get to a score of 150. We had given ourselves a big
50.
chance to
Yeah.
to register a win against Pakistan. It's just that intensity which you talk about all the time was missing in our bowling unit also. But having on top of that, Cyrus, if MS Dhoni can be the mentor, why can't Cyrus be the mentor of the side also? Yeah,
No,
I
I've
think
spoken
that
to the
is.
VCCI. They're saying, "Oh, baki jo teams hai na, you go and help them. If I help them, we will beat them." So they've got a plan in place. Like you said, pre-production ki baat hai. Get it all on paper and then we'll push it forward. But guys,
Okay,
let
you'll
me
have
just
to
get back.
excuse me,
Yeah,
Cyrus.
yeah, yeah. So, but
I'm
just one last
okay.
question before we go to
Yeah.
break. Who's your pick now? It's more or less impossible for us to win from here. Who's your pick? What you've seen?
I'm looking at England. I mean, the kind of cricket which they have played so far, it's unbelievable. I was so impressed by them last game against Sri Lanka. I thought they will really struggle to win, but the fact that they were able to pull off that incredible victory against Sri Lanka shows that they have not only the right kind of resources to come on top on these conditions, but they also have the resilience to fight back. So for
But
me,
they
I
have
think
to
it
also
is
deal with
looking like
Shaheen Shah
England.
Afridi. It's not going to be
Yeah,
that at
yeah,
some
yeah,
point.
yeah,
And
Hmm.
yeah,
our
yeah.
cousins from
Let's
across the
see.
border,
Yeah,
I
I
think
know,
there's
I
a
know.
little romance in that story that a country which
Yeah,
is down and out may come back from nowhere.
yeah,
And I'm all
yeah.
about romance, yaar. Nikhil,
All the time,
what's your
all the time.
what's your take?
Absolutely. I think England is playing a good brand of cricket, but like you said, the final might be between those two sides as well, until unless Australia decides to join the party. But England, of course, with the kind of
So,
cricket they're playing.
Nikhil, अगर वो final England और पाकिस्तान का है तो are we allowed to support Pakistan? What is the government? Can I get an order here in place so that there's no trouble later?
You're
I don't
getting
Are
in
know.
we
dangerous
supposed to?
grounds, Cyrus.
I don't know.
Or
I
do we
don't know
support
if
England?
you.
England was
I don't
colonized
know.
us, yeah, Sabah. I'm confused,
No, if
bro. What do we
I'm
do?
not, if Cyrus, simple. If I'm not working on the game, I'm not watching it. So to me, Punjabi word that I look at very
तू
nicely
मारवाड़ी
and
बन गया
say,
तू पंजाबी नहीं है
nahi, nahi. I'm on the golf course. I'm on the golf course, and then if
ah correct
India is not playing the final, then I'd say SK. Say ki Sanuki, whoever wins. Simple as that.
SK SK
Uh,
okay if they come after us any trolls I'm going to say SK Nikhil Chopra
SK.
ki I put in italics fair enough okay Sabah thank you so much for being with us it's called Khelneeti
Pleasure,
please
Cyrus. Yeah.
check out their podcast. It's going to be great fun listening to expert opinions and lots of fun as well, and great stories that they'll tell from the past, which I'm always a cricket nut who likes to hear. Okay, Sabah, have a great
All right.
day.
Cheers.
See you.
Cheers. Bye bye. Bye bye. Bye.
Nikhil bhai, please, your Wi-Fi has to stay and only you and me are there. It'll become, it'll be like, I don't know, in Mumbai jargon, we used to say solo cricket, solo cricket. The guy who used to take all the strike all the time. And our Mumbai boys are famous for that. Not rotating. Let me not start Delhi Mumbai stories. We're taking a break.
Yeah.
Silvery's come. By the way, Silvery, Nikhil, hates the game. He's a producer, doesn't like the game at all.
I
Oh,
mean,
really?
hate is a strong word. Hate is a
Yes,
very strong word.
Uh,
he can now because cricket star is there, so you're trying to make it all this thing. We don't like the game. In India, I think you like the game, you don't like the game. Who's the middle guy? Who's the neutral guy in cricket here? Yeah, cool. So, Nikhil, we have to do I think we have to do an ad, right?
Yes, yes, correct. I've sent it to you.
Yeah. Okay. So Nikhil can take part in this ad. I will try my
hmm.
best to. I'll have to do it from here. Nikhil, this is a real story. It's an ad, but it's also a real story because I don't lie on the show.
Hmm.
I met my neighbor while he was parking his car yesterday after coming back from a day of work. He's a great guy. We've known each other for years. We started gupshopping normal nonsense about our wives and how tough it is to get a parking spot. He finally found a tight parking spot and he was just taking selfies with it. He was so happy. We live in South Mumbai and you've been there. You know how bad it is. So we started talking about how everything is going, how our wives are not hitting us anymore, and that's a good sign after so many years of marriage. And as broken men with no spirit, these are the kind of things we chat about. And then, since he was a close friend, I thought I'd make him happy. I'd give him some good piece of news. So almost like I don't want to mention because of that rave party and all that. I don't mention anything, but I told him on the side, quietly, like, "What's secret hai? Sun to say." And he listened, and I said, "Kotak home loans now at 6.5%."
Hmm.
And dham ka sound happened. Nikhil, you won't believe this, yaar. My neighbor crashed his car into the wall in front of me, and he just turned to me with a happy expression, like a little hurt all over. His neck was like that, and he was like, 6.5, 6.5. He just kept saying, only 6.5. I said, yeah, 6.5. I feel bad about this because ऐसी बातें बताने से पहले कृपया ध्यान रखें. That has been the motto, and I should have done it myself. But I failed to do it. But I gave him some good news, and I'm giving you all this good news. Visit www.kotak.com for more info, or visit your Kotak Mahindra branch today. Also, check out my new podcast, Come Home to Kotak. It's out now on IVM Podcasts App and website and all other streaming platforms. Nikhil Chopra, I have given you some great news. 6.5. It's a bit like the run rate. that India's had in the tournament so far.
No, but that 6.5 also you should put a tagline. Cyrus can do it on his ad himself. It's like either you can buy a second home also. Nobody will know. 6.5. That's how low it is.
We are trying that. We men understand what we men are trying to say. Don't I fully we have to have a separate podcast for that. Only men. Yeah. And it should be Dard or something. I feel your pain, something like that. Yeah. Now, speaking of pain, back to our cricket story. But there was some nice moments in the World Cup so far. One was I really enjoyed that. I'm sure you must have really enjoyed that. Trent Bolt ka wo, recall, nostalgia, second when he thought he may go over the rope again, like in 2019 final,
Yeah.
and he doesn't, and he takes that catch, and then he looks and he points there, and it's almost like karma. So I have a real. Do you have this feeling that maybe New Zealand is going to win the World Cup, the one that they were cheated out of it in 19, and then they come back in 21 again
You
like a
know,
dark horse? They're always the dark
they're
horse.
they're always the dark horse, and Kane Williamson handles the side really well. Also, he's always looking to play that underdog card. If you remember the World Test Championship as well, always saying India is a better side. It'll be tough for us to beat them, and then he quietly comes and does his job. He puts us in a spot of trouble
Reverse
and
sledging.
gets through.
Huh.
Yeah. From 1975, I think all ICC tournaments, if I'm not wrong, New Zealand has played semi-finals every single time.
Very
So,
high top
this
four. Very
underdog
high.
card, yeah, underdog card really works well for them. And Kane Williamson, we all know how he just keeps that dressing room really, really nice and calm. It's great to see how he's just been able to go out there and handle the side as well. He's got the right sort of roles for the players as well. How he's got East Sodi, Mitchell Santner. East Sodi and Mitchell Santner are two wicket takers of T20 this year, 2021.
They
Just
are. And
phenomenal. They are. That's phenomenal.
considering that is your personal thing, off spin and well spin in general. I'm just thinking for a second, why is it that they're all out bowling us in spin up to your generation? This is why I asked Saba this also. Up to your generation, definitely up to the 90s, early 2000s, there's no dearth of talent in India for spin. But now you're looking around and you're seeing New Zealand, small country, of course one is an expat from here, but ठीक all's allowed in sport. They are out bowling us when it comes to spin. New Zealand 30 years ago,
The
impossible.
Correct. The difference has been, Cyrus, you look at a lot of youngsters, the number of games that Mitchell Santner and East Sodi have played, internationals, vis-a-vis some of our younger lot. With the experienced lot, if you remember the 2017 Champions Trophy when we lost, there was Ashwin and Jadeja who played. Then after
And Ashwin didn't play again
that
after
game,
that.
yeah, then it was Kuldeep and Yuzvendra Chahal playing. That wrist spinners,
Got a
finger
good run.
spinners ka
Good
ho
run.
gaya.
Huh.
Very good run, and they were doing well. So when you need to groom somebody, you have to give them number of games as well. Varun Chakravarti, the kind of background that he's got, no disrespect, I think a great bowler. 3 years ago, from nowhere, played the IPL, then suddenly played for India. You look at the number of games that he's played for India as well. If you're looking to groom someone, you're looking to get somebody to come and play in the World Cup as well. Of course, they'll have butterflies in the stomach, but the number of games, how many has he played? The number of situations that he's gone, because he's never played first class cricket as well. He's never played first class cricket as well, so it makes a big difference as well. Rahul Chahar played a lot of first class cricket, didn't get a game. I felt that all these guys building up to the World Cup at least should have had 20 or 30 odd games under that belt. Okay, this is the combination that we're trying. Let's just give these guys a big go. We still have spinners, make no mistake about it. But
But
it's how you groom
okay,
them.
but the 34-year-old veteran, who's arguably the best off spinner in the game still, in all forms, if he's given a chance, why do you pick him if you're not playing him? You've kept him uh, in the cold for what, 2 years? From 17 ke baad, I think 17, maybe 18, 19, he's
Correct.
not played. So why have you
See,
picked him and you don't play him?
I have a feeling why they picked him is because the thought process or the planning was as Team India,
Washington
progresses
Sundar.
in the tournament.
Oh.
Yeah, something like that. That you needed an off spinner because if you come up against West Indies, had they done well, come the semi-final, or you had a David Warner. See, these days there's a lot of
Lefties, yeah.
matchups happening. Yeah, exactly. So if you have more number of left-handers, then you had the option of maybe getting in Ravichandran and Ashwin as well. T20 game has become all about matchups. It's become that thanks to that Moneyball movie effect, man. This guy comes to bat, you get this bowler. This guy is bowling, you get that batsman, and there's a Captain Morgan has one statistician. I don't know if a lot of people know this or not. You see from the dugout, he's got one statistician who'll come out and take out a placard saying number 54, number 22. So we said, "Ki, Arey bhai, tambola khel raha hai." So it's actually a player. He's got these plays that so and so batsman, his strike rate will reduce in the field. You get so and so bowler. So he's actually doing that, Captain Morgan. So he's not using his brains, he's using the statistician's brain to play these matchups.
But that's fair enough. The data is out there. Everyone is using data. I suppose if it's allowed, it's allowed. You can do that. But what you're saying is that we should not take it personally. That even Virat Kohli can be dropped. Even Ravi Ashwin comes into the team and you don't play him because for that particular match it makes no sense to play him. So in T20 you're saying literally it's for the day, it's for the conditions, it's for the situation, it's for who the opposition is. Literally what you
See,
say,
with the
54 ke khilaf.
Yeah, because you've got the number of batsmen that you've got. Normally, you have some fantastic batting steps. It has always been about batsmen, and that's why you average score. You look at 170, 180. But this time, because the IPL and a lot of people don't know, even Sharjah, why the wickets are sluggish after the first phase of the IPL, they changed the surface. That's why the soil is also not matured. That's why the ball is not coming onto the bat, is because in that middle phase they changed the surface, saying that we'll get it ready for the World Cup. But then you had to play the IPL again as well. So we did not allow the wicket to mature as well. So it made a big difference. So, but I mean, at the end of it, we're
But
all
it's the same
professional
for everything,
cricketers.
Nikhil, for everyone.
Exactly.
We
Yeah,
look
that's
at
what
it
I'm saying.
that way also.
We're professional cricketers. We have to realize and try and see, read between the lines as well. Okay, if batting is getting a little tougher, we need to try and get to 150, 160, and then we'll think about it different. If a certain number of games you could easily go out there and hit sixes, this venue is not about hitting sixes. It's about getting to 160. You have 120 balls, less number of dot balls you play. Let's try and look for boundaries, and we'll try and capitalize wickets in hand in the last 4 or 5. But unfortunately, everything went for a toss is how the build-up was after that India-Pakistan game. I personally felt that maybe we just panicked a little against New Zealand.
Or lost a lot of heart losing to Pakistan. It's a proper beating mentally for us. The country, everybody takes it very personally sometimes. It's possible that, and also that 1 week break. I couldn't understand whether, again, exactly like the IPL, was it good for the tournament, having it before or not? The 1 week break, was it good for India having the break or not? I personally felt it was a bad idea because the momentum seems to, you look at England, who are playing more regularly. They are getting better, figuring out situations. Yesterday was the perfect match. First 10 overs went to Sri Lanka and the next 30 overs was England.
Yeah, absolutely. I guess it was that India had to play on a Sunday after a Sunday, just to get more eyeballs on television screen. But I completely agree. You- 7 days in a tournament like this is a little too much. A lot of people say, well, you get the break and things like that, but you want to get back. Had India won, it's a different matter. But when you lose a game like that against Pakistan, you have 6 more days to think about and try and forget about. Had you played another game within 2 days or 3 days, you quickly forget about that game and you're looking to, come and execute plans for that side as well. That hangover for 6 days is a bad headache to have.
Yeah, true. And I think that the armchair critics have to blame a little bit also. They demotivate people with their stupidity. So armchair critics out there, leave the boys alone in the middle of a World Cup. When there's a break of 3 months, you say what you want. Nikhil, it's been great talking to you, but can we go to AMAs now? Because I'm sure more people want to ask questions than just me.
Yeah,
Because cricket nuts out there, as you know.
there are tons
Silvery?
of AMAs. Yeah, tons of
Please.
AMAs.
Bolo, bolo.
First one comes in from
Yeah.
Feral Mind. He says, "What do you think about the Dhoni mentorship? Is the current predicament of the Indian team a case of too many cooks, perhaps?"
We had asked this, but go ahead.
No, man. I think, yeah. But to be honest, with Mahendra Singh Dhoni being there, I think it's great for the Indian side. It's like Virat Kohli with the aggressive brand of cricket that he's playing, and with Mahendra Singh Dhoni trying to keep things calm in the dressing room. That fire and ice combination would have worked well, but certainly not the case in scenario where too many cooks are looking to spoil the broth. I think Mahendra Singh Dhoni is a great asset for what he brings onto the plate as well. But I guess you can plan as much as you like, brother. But the guys out there on the field,
Yeah.
the 11, they need to
Like
execute those plans.
I think Nikhil said that right at the top also. Ki that's the beauty of sport. Sometimes you got to take a step back, forget your Indian or Pakistani or German or French or whatever, and just sort of understand that this is sport. It's the romance of sport. You know that no one can dominate, not even the great West Indies or the Australians before after them for long. But my only little worry is club cricket taking over the mentality in such a way that we don't have that fire when we are playing. It was too close to the IPL, and I feel that it wouldn't happen in football. They have that July month for the World Cup, and everybody just takes their break from their club and then they into their country and they go all out there. So I was just wondering
But
whether there's just
Cyrus,
too much cricket.
yeah, no, but Cyrus, to be honest, but to be fair, you look at an athlete or a sportsman cricketer, he has what, 10 years, and some of the good guys maybe have 15 years of competitive cricket. Everybody wants to go out there and, make money. So more cricket, it also makes you that as an individual cricketer, you need to be fit, you need to be mentally fit as well. I mean, nobody's put a gun to your head and say, well, I'm not going to be. You can say, well, I want to be fresh for the World Cup. Take a week, 10 days off IPL. But a lot of cricketers I know who I've spoken to who are playing, right through the IPL and also the World Cup. They're like, Nikhil, when we are playing, it's a great opportunity for us to be going through different situations. We're only looking to enhance our skill set, but it's only really unfortunate that we were not able to go out there and execute those plans. But just straight after the IPL, you play the World Cup on the same venue. Think about it this way: on the same venue, but we're not able to capitalize that. So it's unfortunate. But I won't say that too much cricket is happening. What's troubling this year, Cyrus, is how many of us and the players have been staying in bubbles, man. The hotel rooms, the
Yeah,
7 day, the
yeah.
14-day quarantine, staying away from family, you know, uh, parents being
Stuck with the
unwell, their
same people also. It's
players.
like the big
E-
boss thing. Yeah.
Exactly. And apart from that, you're looking to be on national duty, and one of your parents, your siblings, somebody in the family is going through, COVID. You're worried, have I been able to organize an oxygen concentrator? Is the medication being there? So all that also troubles you mentally. So that staying in the bubble is also trouble to everybody as well.
And then there are smaller things like where's my Aadhaar card when they come to test you. I mean, that's always a problem for me. Right? I wish I would just send it to them directly and say, you keep my Aadhaar card. But every time they
That's
ask you, I can't find it.
lots of other problems also when you start that show, no men. Then we'll discuss.
Yeah. Pain for men. Yeah. So let's get more. Let's get more. Silvery.
Sure. Next one comes in from D Day. He says, "Does the way we as an audience treat the team's losses get to the heads of the players more now than it would earlier?"
Nikhil, you're the man
Well,
for this. You have to answer this.
yeah.
How badly do you guys
See,
take it when people criticize you?
no, I mean, you take it with a pinch of salt, but earlier, the best way was to just completely switch off. Don't switch on the news channel you never heard. Don't read the
Correct.
newspaper. But now, social media, brother, is right there. So your voice
And your pal will come
gets
and
there
tell
as
you.
well.
Your
Yeah,
colleague will
somebody.
come and tell
So,
you, कि इसने ये कहा, उसने ये कहा.
but that's where I guess a lot of players are very, mentally strong as well. They know that they went out there and tried their best, but sometimes things don't go your way. I mean, you take criticism because you try and take criticism as well as the credits with the same sort of mindset. It's going to be there. They're both parts of the same coin as well. You do well, you get all credit. You don't do well, you get criticized for it. Simple as that. It also shows that everybody is passionate about you as well.
Also, when you're criticizing Nikhil, anyone can criticize the issue of Ishan Kishan, where to bat him, why was Surya Kumar, because they didn't tell us he had a back spasm earlier, etc., etc. And why is Virat pushed at 4? You want him to control the innings, you want him at 1, 2, maximum 3. So these are not things which I think people should feel bad about. It is normal
Hmm.
questions to ask, right or no? It's only when it starts becoming more personal and bitter and pointing out more and more faults in a person, particularly, then you can see that there's a personal axe to grind between people of whatever reason. So I think we should have like a rule. Government should come up with a rule saying you can go this much, and like for comedians, right? Silvery comedians also should be allowed to make so many jokes, and
No,
then
I,
they have to stop.
I think with the rule should be, instead of SK, it should be TK.
TK क्या होता है?
Twanu ki.
Well set up. You got me with that, huh? You set the batsman up. Very good, very good, excellent. You saw he brought me forward, and then finally
Yeah.
bat and pad close together and touched the glove and went straight.
Yeah.
Superb. Well bowled, Nikhil. Well bowled.
Yeah.
Next.
It's the dusra.
Next one comes.
Yeah. Sannu, not Tannu.
Next one comes
Bolo,
in from
bolo.
Vishal Dubey. He says, Nikhil and Saba sir, but Saba sir is left. So Nikhil sir, how much should be the winning margin for India's next 3 games? 200 plus scores in every game if batting first, or restricting the opposition to 120? What would be our best
I'll
result?
gi- I'll give you Vishal. I'll give you a simple scenario. See, if New Zealand beat, if Afghanistan beat New Zealand, and we of course beat Afghanistan, so New Zealand and Afghanistan and India would have had 2 losses. But you look at Afghanistan's net run rate; it's plus 3 point something, and if they beat New Zealand, that net run rate will only look to improve. So this scenario is good. I'm not saying there is a mathematical chance that India might go through, but it's going to be really, really crazy because that first win for Afghanistan was huge.
But if we bowl out Afghanistan for 16, then our run rate can really go up. So it's not impossible.
Absolutely.
I hope Mrs. Sharma has more children. Sannu Tannu to ho gaya. We need one more.
Yeah. So it's going to be
Next,
tough.
next.
There's mathematical
They can
calculation,
just
but
tell the
it's
truth.
tough.
Now, there's no hope, yaar. Now, why don't people just accept it and move on with their lives? That poor guy who's still calculating and thinking, ki ye hoga, wo hoga, ye hoga, wo hoga. What's the point? It's
No, but
almost
I'm
99%
still doing
impossible.
commentary, no. I'm still doing
True.
commentary for the other games, so that's why I have to build.
You keep the market up. Keep the market up. Sponsors ke baat hai. Huh. Next.
Next one comes in from Ruben David. He says, if we have conditions where win the toss is equal to win the match, it becomes a tournament of tosses and not cricket. Should more be
Especially
done
for
to
white
even
ball.
the odds out?
Well, I guess
Would
there
you
is,
say this is
but
fair?
no,
Sorry, Cyrus?
For
win the
Sharjah?
toss. Win the toss, win the game is not the case in scenario, but the coin, the flip of the coin, the toss is also an important aspect of the game. A lot of people don't realize you need to plan for both scenarios. If you win the toss, what you're deciding to do, but if you don't win the toss, what you're going to do or you're forced to do, that's why you make the balance of the 11. So the toss becomes important. I can understand where he's coming from, that you win the toss, the conditions are such that second inning, because the weather's changed, the dew comes in, it gets tougher as well. But isn't that the beauty? Even this World Cup, Cyrus, you got games in Sharjah, you got Dubai, Abu Dhabi, 3 different venues. So as a side who's going to be called the world champion is playing on all 3 venues. So you need to be playing your top brass of cricket to be called world champions. I thought this World Cup is, really good.
But unfortunately for us, Nikhil, your friend from Delhi has got a horrible record with tosses. It's like probably the worst in the world. He and Steve Smith, the 2 best batsmen of the generation, worst toss record in all forms of cricket. I think if Virat was to play a gully match in Mumbai somewhere, he would lose a toss. It's like that.
Yeah, well,
I keep telling my family, I don't even bother. We are not winning the toss. That's it, and it'll be that way. We'll win against Namibia.
sometimes it's like you can't have everything. That's the unfortunate part.
Yeah, well, but he's got a point. Now, you don't want the toss to be so important in a. I know what you're saying, ki it's a World Cup and you should
Yeah.
win on all conditions. That is correct. You have to be a real champion. But the toss can't be so dominant. I'm sure the team is getting demotivated when they have to bat first. Now, the moment they lose the
See,
toss.
I mean, but that is something that's not in your hands. Put it this way, that's just simple luck of the draw. I mean, you can't say, okay, chalo, Virat, after net sessions, half an hour, beta, keep flipping the coin. If how many times it falls. So you can't be
So
practicing that.
we'll let Nikhil do the comedy show and I'll do the cricket show now. I'm just switching. Both okay. He's been on a roll. I think he's just accepted that India is not going to go further in this tournament, so he's just relaxed and having a good time. That's what people should understand. Yeah.
So,
And you got Ravi and you got MS Dhoni. So they're both standing by. One is going heads, tails. Wow. What a story. Yeah. Okay, let's go
Alright,
for another
next-
quick
yeah.
question. Yeah.
Next one. This is slightly long. Comes in from Harvesh Kasad. He says, statistics show that Virat Kohli has an outstanding overall international captaincy record in all the 3 formats. But like other statistically successful captains like Wog and Ponting, that people about Ponting, that people talk about and rate very highly. The commonality among all the three is whenever the opposition have put them under the pump, they have never come up with a plan B. What are your thoughts?
Oh, so in terms of, see, as a skipper, when you're under the pump, when you talk about plan Bs, and plan Bs, you talk about or think about when they're successful. Unfortunately, both these games, I'm just going to relate now with the India and the Pakistan side, it was, we got outplayed against Pakistan, but how Virat got that 50 odd, got, that respectable total on board, 150 odd. But Babar Azam and Rizwan, really played well. 10-wicket victory. Unfortunately, whether Jasprit Bumrah, Mohammad Shami, they were not able to pick up wickets early on. And again, New Zealand, we lost the toss, batting first. You lost too many wickets early on. Plan B would have been, for me, at that moment in time, if a player gets injured, I would not have changed Virat Kohli. I would have got him to bat at number 3 as well. That's when I guess somebody must have said, let Ishan Kishan go up the order, Trent Bolt there. At that moment in time, sometimes I think as a leader as well, you need to put your foot down saying, hey guys, I need to just not allow this to happen. Let's just, let Rohit and KL open the innings. I will bat at number 3. There's no need to panic, man. Simple as that. But I guess in the interest of the side, somebody was able to, convince him to do the other, to go the other way. That's why I think Virat could sometimes just put his foot down and say, no, I am the leader. This is what I see. He's such a good guy. Cyrus, he's such a good guy. He gets
I'm a huge fan, Nikhil. You don't have to tell me. I'm a huge fan.
No,
I think
I'm
he's
telling
a
you.
lovely guy also, as a human being.
Yeah.
I can see that.
Unfortunately, he, for the interest of the side, you tell him, ki, yaar, Virat, if you bat at 6, he'll be good. But, I want him to say, nay, yeah, boss, this is me. This is Virat Kohli you're talking about. I'm going to bat at 3 and I'm going to win you the game. But somebody is able to convince him to go and bat at 4. I want him to just be able to put that foot down.
But Nikhil, I'll ask you one slightly more technical question in that sense. Ki, Pakistan game, theek hai. The conditions were slightly new, whatever, and all that, and we fought back with his 57 or 40 odd balls. We fought back and we reached 150. There was a chance. Then we didn't bowl well. But New Zealand game, as the wickets were tumbling, once Virat himself got out, and they were 4 for nothing. I felt that after that, this whole plan B, there was no on-the-spot plan B happening. But now should we just target 125, 130 to give ourselves a chance? In that, we targeted nothing and reached 108, 109. I mean, and nobody seemed to have an idea whether it was Jadeja or Hardik Pandya. They didn't have any clue about how to use those last 5-10 overs. Having watched Butler bat yesterday, I'm just saying, from whatever situation you're trying to get, cut your losses. That's the right phrase. How do you cut your losses from where you are?
See, simple ways. When you lose wickets, you lost 48 for 4. How do you get back into the game? See, the important thing is you go back into the statistics and you try and actually find how teams win. It's that middle phase of the game is the minimum number of dot balls you play. And it's, old classic cliched saying of how to get back into the game is try and build that partnership. Keep rotating strike. Out of 20 overs, if you play 9 overs of maiden, in that 11 overs, where are you going to win the game? So I think that plan B should have been coming from the batsman out there in the middle. 48 deliveries between Ish Sodhi and Mitchell Santner. They only gave 32 runs. So had you against spin at least look to go run a ball, you would not be feeling the heat to try and hit those sixes. And at the end of the day, let's call a spade a spade. I think the batsman out there in the middle just froze. They saw that from here, it's damn tough. It's damn tough. They were seeing that defeat, and I think they just simply froze, and that's why the bat, the free flow, the arms were not happening. I just personally feel they felt that, so much pressure, we have to win that game. Lost 4 wickets in the 10 overs, 48 for 4. I think they just froze because they could see that defeat.
देखा Silvery? मौका आ गया finally, to use the phrase from the ad. You can go and play. By the time we reach the 5th match, Nikhil is going to make some calls. He's got a lot of influence in cricket, and you can actually get. What the hell? Let's have some fun with it then. You go and play. You can't do any worse. You're going to lose by 10 wickets and things like that.
But this is good, no? Get some of the critics to come and bat against
the best,
maybe
the best critic, the worst critic.
Sir, please.
We don't need our team. Our team will do for the English critic. For the English critic, they can also get or the West Indian cricket jo bhi hai, yeah.
bowling machine. I'll say bowling machine also, Cyrus. Not at 150 kilometers an hour, at 130 with the best of equipment, the best helmet, protective gear, and things,
Nikhil,
and a nice
you
sexy pair of diapers as well.
we come back to the third show on men because I believe not only cricket but even when it comes to war, every time we're having fights on the border with China or Pakistan or whatever, we have these guys in South Mumbai. I'm sure you have them in Delhi also, who are always beating their chest and saying "Dikhaunga this, that, and the other." These are guys who have not even in their life, hit a cockroach. And then suddenly they want to talk about this, Balwan, and I'll do this and I'll do that. And I just, it's the same thing in cricket. This big chest thumping thing, ki, "Main ye karta tha, main wo karta tha." I mean, are you serious? You know what bloody Adam Milne is like? I mean, your bloody, as you said, the Susu will leak. What are you
Yeah,
talking about? Yeah, seeing them from side, when we get to see them from side, one gets scared to watch. So yeah.
correct.
Anyway, so armchair critics, we have a message for you. It's with my finger, which I can't show, but you can guess. It's just under the frame. Yeah.
Hmm.
Silvi, you'll do one quick one because
Okay,
Nikhil
one
has to go
last
to play
one.
golf. This is golf
Sure.
time.
Correct.
Okay,
Match is
so
right.
we'll end.
Yeah.
So we'll
Bolo,
end with
bolo.
like a non-current related question, like current cricket related question. Comes in from Artik Shetty. He says, "Hello Nikhil sir. One past cricketer you've seen who should have played for India despite doing brilliant domestically."
Amol
The
Mazumdar,
one, yeah, the
Ame
one name I
Kurasia.
was going to say. No, Ame played the 99 World Cup as well, but the
He
one
played
name
in
that
it.
came
Yeah, he
straight
did.
to my mind is Amol Muzumdar. Absolutely, good
What a
friend. I've
batsman.
grown up
Yeah.
with him and played a lot of cricket. Like you say, Mumbai language, chabuk player, man.
Shabuk player. And what records and
Yeah,
all these. I mean, what more can you do? When you think about his statistics are part of the game, he's got all the statistics. But again, what a lineup we had in batting also, if you look at what we had.
yeah, and very nearly he made it. I think in the England tour '96 or something, and then they decided to take a second wicket keeper. So I feel bad for that young kid, but phenomenal human being and an outstanding batsman, man. Outstanding batsman, Amol Majumdar.
But now you can always turn up for Namibia, for Ireland. You have to do just 2 years domestic something or marry
No,
a.
no, you can.
Huh.
You know something? You can go to USA now. What's happening? I'll tell you. USA cricket is trying to build up. They've got Corey Anderson and some of the other players who are signing up. They go and live in the US. They've got these contracts, and after 4 years, you can qualify to play, or 3 years, and then look to represent USA cricket. So they're also coming in a big way, brother.
That's a good idea, yeah. So you have a United Nations sort of USA, which will be from
Correct.
5 different cricketing cultures, and they'll be
Uh,
making up the team. But that's how you start. It's fine. I want
hmm.
China to play cricket. I'm waiting for that. Wait, because then
Hmm.
then what happens when there's a right arm Chinaman bowling? Is it going to be a little confusing? Sorry, Rex.
Oh,
Thanks,
no
bro.
worries.
Thanks for the chat. And
Lovely,
just for
man.
everybody out there, it's just a game. End of the day, I mean, it's horrible. We all feel bad, but it's just a match, and we go on to the next one. All right. See you, Nikhil. Have a good day.
See you. Thanks. Thank you. Thanks, bro.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Cheers.
Cheers. Cheers. Bye. Bye.